There we go. Whoops, I forgot my banner. That's that rampant professionalism you've come to expect here in the library. Boop, there we go. All right. Well, welcome one and welcome all to the one, the only Junk Shop Library channel, home of Mental Health Thursdays. Our attempt here on the channel to create a sort of psychological, big, fluffy, warm blanket and armor up in it and lean on each other. Because this has been a rough year, y'all, and it ain't over yet. And today is a stressful day for a lot of us, and tomorrow can sometimes be worse. I see the chat filling up. We got all manner of people here. Good to see everybody. Let me run through real quick and see who's joined me since I stopped being able to talk to folks in the chat. I see Dave. I see Microraptor. I see B. Hi, B. Good to see you, as always. Fran Wilson, hello again. Sir Little Wolf, good to see you. And Godless Scummer, hello. And Ox, aye. And Wild Eden. All right, that brings us up to the bottom of the chat. Good to see everybody. Thank you all for joining me on this very cold Christmas Eve. Okay, first and foremost, because not everybody who happens across Mental Health Thursdays has been with me all the way along. So, first things first. I'm Junk Shop. I run the Junk Shop Library channel. I am by no means and in no way whatsoever a mental health professional. I deal with and am in treatment for a variety of mental health problems, and many of my friends are as well. And I found that one of the best ways we can support each other is just to be there for each other. So I've just up and created this space where we can do that. I got a lot of mods in the chat, and but don't be intimidated if you're new here. That's just to stay on top of the trolls and allow people to post their links for their streams. More important than normal, because we're coming up on Purple Rhymes with Orange's enormous Christmas cavalcade of streams of doom. You're going to be able to find, hey, Greg, how's it going? Geo Sam, rock on. Find Purple Rhymes with Orange on Twitter, and you can find the Google Doc there that will allow you to follow a lot of us around the internet, around the YouTubes, as folks host all manner of their various takes on the holiday. Epileptic Skeptic, good to see you. It's been a minute, my friend. Good to see you, as ever. For no reason, hello. Microraptor says Sweden, hang on, I gotta click it before it gets away from me. Sweden celebrates Christmas on the 24th, so today is the bad day for me. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Way to go. There it goes. Everybody send Microraptor some love, some hearts, some hugs if she wants them, you know. Send them her way. I myself don't care much for Christmas. I like the sort of the tinsely, sparkly, lightsy, hallmarky aspects of it, but that's also the kind of thing you can overdose on real quick. So my preferred method of celebrating Christmas is to walk a mall in late November and do that a couple of times, and that pretty much suffices. I get my cinnamon and apple smells, I get my Christmas carols, I get my big gaudy trees and my over-the-top lights. It's that's pretty much enough for me most of the time. The problem is I'm part of two large, gregarious, and somewhat holiday-happy families that drag me into the great family festivities every year. So I always find this time of year very stressful. I'm not a big fan of large, loud crowds. Hey, Stool, how's it going? Yeah, I know, it's real damn orange, isn't it? This was an inadvertent pairing, actually. I needed a large caffeine vector and a warmth vector, and they just happened to sort of clashy coordinate. I'll be honest, I almost didn't do this stream. I'm not doing real good today. This has been a stressful, longer time than I think the human organism is evolved to maintain awareness of stress. I'm sure none of y'all have any idea what I'm talking about, and none of y'all have experienced any stress in your lives either. Is it a shawl or a carpet? It's a big-ass fuck-off blanket. It's a moving blanket. Yeah, it doesn't miss it by much. It was actually designed for a waterbed back when those were a thing. So it's fucking huge. But you double it over, you wrap it around, snug as a bug in a rug. But then I thought, well, Junk Shop, I said to myself, if you don't feel like streaming, what are you going to do instead? And I realized what I was going to do instead is I was going to sit around and stew in my own juices and just sort of slowly slide down further into the mire of my own brain. And I thought, well, that's no good. You should go hang out with your friends instead. And here y'all are. And I feel better already. Had to kind of psych myself up to push the go live button, but I'm here now. Y'all are here. We're all chatting together. And I feel a lot better now. So thank you. How about y'all? How are y'all doing? I got sort of the same approach to actual Christmas, like the actual celebration of it, that I do to going on stage. Yeah, no, Ox, I didn't shave. I hadn't shaved in a couple of days. I've been in the depression hole where nothing gets done. My nails are adequate, though. Yeah, just, what was I saying? Oh, going on stage. I don't get stage fright. When I'm out there on the stage, I am happy. I'm good. I'm in the role. I'm in the moment. Everything's fine. The minute before I walk on, sometimes I almost don't do it. I get panicky. I get shaky. I start forgetting shit. But once I step out of the wings, I'm good to go. And I've got a similar reaction to a lot of big holidays, and Christmas above them all. I dread leading up to them. And then they kind of happen and they blur by and they're over and done with and gone, and that's fine. But this is kind of the last great gasp of the leading up to, and I don't dig it. I don't dig it at all. So anyway, lots of hugs going around in the chat. I love it. A lot of people not doing good today either. So sorry to hear that. Hey, Never Again. Good to see you, as always. It's, yeah. Ox says, be glad that you have this day. And be glad that you have Julie. I'm glad of both those things, my friend. Very, very glad of both those things. What are the Christmas traditions that really let's just kind of vent for a second, unless you're saving it for your chapter of the Christmas streamathon. Oh shit, Little Wolf, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Wish I could send something other than positive vibes, you know? But I've no prayers I can send. I hope it's a mild case, and I hope it's recovered from. The ickiness will pass, says Fran Wilson. Yes. One thing, definitely a thing to remind oneself of when in a depressed episode. I'm also in the dismount process from one of my antidepressants. I'm switching from one to another over a long period of time, like with a tapering off and tapering up regimen. And a couple of days ago was the last time I took the old one. I realized, like early this morning, as I was sitting here trying to figure out why I felt like such crap for the last 2 or 3 days. Realized that's probably part of it. Are you called junk shop in real life, says Microraptor? By an increasing number of people. You'd be surprised. And Skeptic's going to be starting an antidepressant in the next few months. Excellent. Hey, Godless Granny, good to see you again. Yeah, Godless Granny, the newest member of my Patreon family. So, in addition to being a fantabulous content creator, now a name on the crawler of doom. All right. Feel like I'm talking a lot about me. I look forward to it, but I'm nervous since it'll be my first time. Oh boy, preach that. I suffered from Hey, Dr. Osiris, how's it going, my friend? I had suffered from what, for lack of a better term, I'll call by the oxymoron off and on chronic depression since I was about 15, 16 years old. And finally worked up the gumption and got around to pulling the trigger on making myself go to a therapist. What was it? Was it early this year or was it last year? It hadn't been long, grand scheme of things. And taking that first dose of antidepressants was an interesting experience. Much as I called myself mental health treatment positive and pro medication, there's a difference between advocating for something and actually pulling the trigger and doing it on it yourself. And I do have to admit, I had to sit there and look at that pill for a minute. I took it, but I had to sit there and look at it for a moment. I know what's missing. I ain't got my... Where'd it go? I got so many banners, they run away and hide. There it is. Pow! There we go. So yeah, and that, you know, of course, and that's necessitated some of the fun side effects that changes in medication invariably bring about. You know, some interesting GI issues, some nausea, a little bit of sweating, difficulty regulating internal temperature, all that kind of mess. But it'll even out when my blood levels even out. And I know that's coming, just like I know the end of this ginormous, like, fuck off Pilgrim's Progress burden of depression that I've been carting around the last few days. I know I'll be setting that down at some point, and probably not in the not too distant future. I toss around the term manic depressive, even though it's no longer accepted in the professional community, because it describes, to me and for my purposes, the functionality of my illness. So that's what I go with. I think I saw... Yes, Mr. Shadow Kitty. How you doing today, my friend? Good to see you, as ever. Oh, I'm so glad to have other people talking. Richard Madsen, peace and respect to you as well. Yeah, and this Christmas season, harder on a lot of us, I strongly suspect, than most in the recent past, because we don't even have familiar levels of stress. We've got completely unfamiliar levels of stress. Most of us are fortunate enough not to be the degree of immunocompromised that requires us to stay home all the time. Some of us are. I'm fortunate enough not to be in that category. And the past 9 months or so have made me even more grateful that I do not, even more grateful than I already was, that I did not end up in that category, or hadn't yet. I've life ahead of me. Good Lord willing and the creek don't rise. Lone Wanderer's Bunker. Hello, my friend. How are you? even with the pandemic going on, I'll be honest, I was kind of braced for impact for the big giant family Christmas. I was kind of expecting everybody to be safe and everybody to stay distanced and everybody to take all the super duper care that they could leading up to 2 weeks before Christmas, so that at least the immediate family would be impelled to gather, drawn in like some kind of gravity event. But no, because folks still got to go to the grocery store and got to go to the doctor and got to go pick up their prescriptions, which necessitates going to a pharmacy, which necessitates standing in a line full of sick people, and so forth and so on. So, no big, giant, noisy family Christmas. Just the two of us here in the library, in the quiet, putting on whatever music we want, Christmas or otherwise, watching whatever movies we want, Christmas or otherwise. None of them Angry Birds. How about y'all? Any of y'all doing anything significantly different for Christmas this year? I know we've got a couple of folks who more or less stay in the house for a number of reasons. What is Doctor? What in heaven's name is a Logitech ergonomic scroll wheel thing? Does that like replace a mouse? Gotta go back outside. Oh my gosh, never again. You gotta be careful. My orange has totally ruined Stool's Christmas. Stool, my friend, you need a thicker skin. Microraptor says, the name of a chapter in a book stuck with me. Mandatory Happiness. I feel that extra much at Christmas. You are right. Abso-fucking-lutely. You're not allowed to feel down at Christmas, especially around your family. It's tidings of comfort and joy, god damn it. And you gotta put on that mask of comfort and joy. You know, the one that weighs about 5.5 pounds and straps around the back with, 2-inch Latigo leather like Jason Voorhees hockey mask, and just clamp. Mandatory happiness, says Godless Granny, is what people in church demanded. Smile! Jesus loves you. Exactly. Yes. Right on. Do you remember he's probably put out 5 since then, but the last Weird Al Yankovic album that I noticed was called Mandatory Fun, and it was styled like an old school Soviet propaganda poster, and it had him standing there pointing the way forward and tanks rolling along, and it was made exactly the point that I think he was trying to make. I get sorry. I was in a very literal place for a second, and now I no longer am. Naughty jokes in the chat. All right. How about y'all? What are y'all doing different this year? Different good, different bad, different stressful? I've got a friend I usually see around Christmas. I'm not going to be able to see this year because of the The global circumstance. Who am I kidding? I don't need to worry about this thing being monetized. The COVID-19 pandemic. Recently tested negative, thanks be to God, but still got a quarantine. Yeah, Julie's gonna make all the yummy food. Going nowhere, says Godless Granny. No parties, no concerts, etc. I always thought I wanted to be invited to Christmas parties. But on the very rare occasions when I actually was, I sort of stuck out like a sore thumb, which is kind of hard to do when you wallflower as hard as I. But, you know, junk shop, don't do nothing half-assed. It's whole ass or nothing. The Land of Far Away. Oh, God, I love that movie. Christopher Lee in one of his best performances in a movie that's been out of print, at least so far as I can. But where is it? Is it like streaming online somewhere? Because I'll go open another tab, so I'm ready to go as soon as we end this. I'm to thank myself, reminds Lone Wanderer. If y'all hadn't seen the tribute to me that Lone Wanderer recently put up on her channel, you are missing out. And I say that as somebody who can't hardly stand the sight of myself. But, oh my gosh, I hadn't laughed that hard in I don't know how long. I don't know how long. Might help if I actually finished the construction around which I had built the sentence, might it not? Iron Claw, Christopher Lee. Yes. One of my favorite death scenes in moviedom is in that movie, and I'm not even going to tell y'all who it is. Great movie. Amazing movie. Very much of its time, but so good. So good. That kind of movie is what fantasy was made for. Yes. Y'all didn't think I was going to do a mini movie rant here in the middle of the mental health stream, did you? You never know what you're going to get here in the library. It's a Math Big. Hello, my friend. Thank you for dropping by. So good to see you, as ever. Yeah. Yeah, self-care is so important. And it comes in so many forms. So many forms. I think we did an entire episode of Mental Health Thursday on self-care. There thou, rise, my child. Y'all are fun. I am so glad I found this community. Y'all have all just been immensely good for me for my mental state and as a person. Some of y'all I know better than others. But as far as I can tell, y'all are good people. Maybe not Stuart. Y'all are good people. Oh, yes. I knew that. Thank you, Julie. I knew that. I had forgot it, but I knew it. So thanks for the heads up. Cheers. Somebody found it on YouTube and found it on DVD. Oh, that's awesome. That's a good friend. So, actually, with all the belly aching and moaning I've done over the years about Christmas, and as much as I hate and have a somewhat visceral reaction to Christmas Eve that's related to some childhood emotional trauma that I'm not going to unpack here and now, because A, it's a downer, and B, it involves some other people's business. I've been looking forward to it this year, because I'm looking forward to the stream-a-thon. I love hanging out with y'all, on screen, off screen, in the side chats, upstairs, downstairs, and in my ladies' chamber. Fun community to be part of. And I'm so, so happy to have found all y'all. And when Purple first floated the idea of doing a all the way through stream, I was like, this is perfect. This is absolutely fucking perfect. So many of us are under so much stress right now. And the holidays always just exacerbate that. Even if you don't fucking celebrate them, they exacerbate that. And now I'm too warm. Damn it. Great. Now I look like a Jawa. But I said, you know what? This will be good for us. This will be good for us all. Just to hang out as much as we want to have the option. Because normally it's kind of a catch-as-catch-can thing. Sometimes you get to hang out in the chat. Sometimes you get to be on streams. Sometimes you get to just put a stream on in the background when you got to do something else. And sometimes there's no streaming at all from anybody you want to hang out with. But this year, Purple's got us. And I've been looking forward to this for a while, to just sort of following the community around and hanging out. And quite frankly, y'all, I hadn't had as much looking forward to related to a Christmas probably since I stopped believing in Santa Claus and reindeer. It's been a bleak year all around. And it's been a stressful year. And it's been hard to get through at times. And it has been for everyone. Oh, Purple, your ears burning? I was just talking about you. But we've got this community. We've got this amazing group of folks of so many ages and backgrounds and genders and belief systems and countries of origin and countries of residence, those two not necessarily being the same thing, and just all that stuff. And we've built a home together here on the internet. And I'll be honest, days when I have a really rough day and I'm kind of trapped in my brain, sometimes it's just getting through to my next stream so I can hang out with my friends. Because you got to have something concrete to look forward to. I don't have any weird ideation. I'm fine. I'm just saying in terms of not curling up in a ball and sleeping for 23 hours, which the temptation has been very strong to do several times of late. So, Critical Cripple says, I have seen reindeer poop! You mean you have seen the fecal matter of reindeer, or you have seen reindeer in the act of... Microraptor says, I once asked a person where they're from, and their answer was essentially, it's complicated. I love that. That's awesome. And, oh, favorite Christmas movie combo from Lone Wanderer's Bunker. Nightmare Before Christmas, and then Edward Scissorhands. I love Edward Scissorhands. Always have. Such a great movie. Hey, that's the end of the coffee. All right. Well, we're coming up on the 40-minute mark, and I'm kind of running out of gas. Brainbug has a stream coming up at the top of the hour, so we should probably start trickling over there and populate his chat. Thank you all so much for coming over here today. You have lifted my spirits tremendously at a time and on a day when I sorely needed that. Some old friends here, some new friends here, my wonderful wife here. Y'all are all awesome. I don't know how much watch value this is going to have after the fact. It ended up being more of a live experience. But if y'all watching after the fact and you made it this far, I wish you well as well. Merry Christmas to you if it hadn't happened yet. Happy New Year if you're watching it next week. Happy whatever day you're watching it, wherever you're watching it. All right, I got to find my button. I need to take down my banner so y'all can see all my pretty face while I do my outro. There's my button. All right. Well, as we always say before we roll out of here, now I'm getting cold again. Shit. As we always say before we roll out of here, everybody take care. Be safe. Stand against hate. And I hope you have a wonderful seasonal holiday, whatever that looks like for you, whichever one or ones it is or they are, and however the hell you decide to celebrate it. Hope to see you tomorrow.